Welcome to Jujutsu Kai Quest. I'm Jim.
I'm Sam.
And we are embarking on a journey of unforeseen consequences and results.
Man, I really should have been the one to do the intro for this.
Probably should have.
Please, first comment, should I be doing the intro from here on for this whole series?
So welcome to our new series. Hello, thank you for joining us. This is, as you've seen, I'm sure you saw the title, this is Jujutsu Kai Quest. Sam and I are embarking on a quest, watching Jujutsu Kaisen, to see either A, do we like it? B, will we drop it?
Or C, will this be thrown to the void with the Part 3 podcast?
Sam, we've spoken to not mention this.
Is it in the vanilla ice void? Oh, I'm sorry, cool ice for you dub listeners.
All right, so thank you for joining us. So we just watched episode 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen, anime adaptation by MAPPA.
I'm sorry, you forgot Jujutsu Kaisen, Crunchyroll official anime of the year winner with since the show's not even done yet. Also, best villain and best ED.
Okay, ED's good.
Yes.
We wanted it to win ED. You get
that
one.
was his one.
Jujutsu Kaisen, you get one. So yes,
trademark, copyright, all that stuff afterwards.
I had this wonderful idea. So full disclosure, I have watched episode 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen. I watched it a few weeks ago. I didn't like it. I bounced off it. I said, Sam, I don't like the show. It's not good.
But Sam, you like so much shonen trash. Maybe you'll get some enjoyment out of it. And I'm like, I'm just going to compare it to all the shonen trash I've watched.
All right, so I didn't exactly say that, but I thought it'd be funny since you've probably seen more shonen than I have, but we've seen a lot of shonen. We know how it works.
Yes.
And everyone is obsessed with this show.
Yeah.
Why do people, guys? Why do you guys like the show so much?
It's just that big shonen craze that we've gotten. Like we had it with Attack on. I guess actually Attack on Titan is shonen, but at the time, I guess when it started out, it felt like that.
Yeah, Attack on. Okay, so when we say shonen, I think it's important.
Just that long, like 24 episode like series that comes out and takes the world by storm, kind of one. Kind of like the Game of Thrones effects, where it's just like this big thing comes out, everybody says that, like Breaking Bad was like that, Game of Thrones was like that, Walking Dead was like that. Just like anime has, Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, like all that stuff. You know?
I feel like Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, definitely I would put them in the same
it's just that
classification as that.
That boat, everybody's hot on it, and its lifespan will depend on how long that craze goes for.
Yes, and so, okay, one thing I want to say from the jump, I kind of started to talk about it, but so shonen, as we are referring to it here, is manga and series that come from the Shonen Jump publication series and like the umbrella. Something like JoJo technically isn't Shonen Jump anymore.
Yeah, well, but it's on Ultra Jump, so it has Jump in the name.
Yes, it is still a Jump manga, even though but there is a certain and we're not the first people to talk about this, but there's a certain there's all these tropes that kind of come along with a Shonen Jump manga.
You would talk about, especially with stuff that happens in this episode, because I think we didn't do an episode on Demon Slayer, did we, on this podcast?
I don't think we did.
Yeah.
We've definitely talked about it in passing, but we did watch most of the first season.
I think we talked about it, maybe we had a Crunchyroll Awards episode, we talked about it a lot.
Probably. I don't think we'd seen it at that point, though.
But I feel like people are going on that, which is crazy that people got on oh my god, the animation's crazy. Everything. I think everybody talked about episode 2. I think it is, which I haven't only seen a very little of that.
Oh, of Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah,
everyone talked about where Demon Slayer I think. The first episode had okay, but it wasn't until he actually got the source stuff where the animation was okay, this is very pretty to look at. Where this one, I'm just there's some interesting animation, but with some janky, it's mixed up in it.
Yeah, okay, so for full disclosure, we only watched episode 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen.
We're only episode 1, kind of panning out to see if we do, should we combine 2 episodes into 1 episode? This is kind of the test run. This is the pilot.
Next time, this is the pilot of Jujutsu Kai Quest. Next time you see us, so I don't know how frequently these are going to come out, and I think it may be a rapid succession. That'd be fun.
Who knows?
But next time you see us, we might be talking about episode 2. If we have enough thoughts about just 2, we'll talk about 2. If not, we'll bunch 2 and 3. We'll see.
Yeah. So I guess we're gonna try to recall the plot going on there.
Okay, so we saw so the episode begins with a flash forward.
Yes, with
Kakashi.
with not Kakashi.
Not Kakashi.
They saw a picture of Kakashi. Like, okay, what if we pulled that mask, but just pulled it over his eyes
instead of his mouth.
Yeah.
So okay, we haven't. So Sam is the Naruto guy.
Yes.
I haven't seen Naruto.
Yes.
So don't shit on me for these.
I
don't shit on Sam either. We haven't seen this Kakashi character yet. We've only seen glimpses.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't seem. Kakashi's way more chill than he seems to be. He kind of seems to be kind of goofy and like jovial, even though Kakashi's like more chill, more serious. Except when he puts his fingers in your butt and reading his like his sexy books,
His hentai mangas, his hentai dojins. So
they're basically hentai like novels essentially.
that is hilarious. So we see that flash forward. So we know that our main character. I don't know his name. I'm gonna call him Pink-haired Ichigo because I got a lot of Bleach vibes from this series. Pink-haired Ichigo.
I don't like most of the character designs in this show.
Spoiler alert: I do not either.
Like,
I don't
even
like
in the
them.
OP, I'm like, none of these characters really pop for me. Where like, I'm gonna compare it to the last season, like this anime, like Demon Slayer. Everybody had that unique design to
Yeah.
them that popped off.
The colors were like fantastic.
Even the
in Demon
mask,
Slayer.
even the mask characters had like a design to them as
Yeah.
well. And like the swords had like, but like yeah, this one just like every character kind of looks like either like kind of plain boring or generic or just a combination of like other shonen characters, kind of fusion dance into one.
Yeah, and I mean, like we obviously have like the rival Sasuke character.
But he's like a rival character, but he didn't seem to be like that bitter, like the kind of like actual rival to him. He was kind of like way more like, you know, friendly.
Was friendly.
Yeah, he was way
decently
more friendly, even though he looked like he was going to be the Sasuke or whatever.
Okay, so just kind of like trying to ground us. So I don't want these episodes to be like super long.
Yeah.
So
This is kind of be us kind of judging on
just what we've seen.
episode 1 of or how I'm not sure how the manga goes. So if it was the first chapter of manga like this as long as the first episode, where it's just a bunch of meandering until like the end of the chapter when something actually happens.
So yeah, that was something. So we kind of had this discussion where like, so basically to just kind of really quickly summarize like what happens. Basically our main character, we find out that he has a grandpa that he loves.
Who dies in the OP.
Who dies in the OP, hilariously. The grandpa also dies for real in the episode.
He literally rolls over and dies.
But so really, it's just kind of like we were trying to figure out like what was chapter 1 of this manga like? Was chapter 1 like did it just dive right into the action? Because we were kind of thinking like it didn't really feel like too much like any chapter 1 that we've read of like a shonen before.
It was
a Shonen Jump manga.
It didn't feel like it was going to be this supernatural like, I guess like ghost demon related stuff.
Curses.
Yeah, curses.
Is like the focus. What I'm guessing.
But like, it felt more like a comedy show more than that. Like anything, it wasn't for that one flash forward scene. Like I wouldn't have guessed it was like anything like that.
Yeah. So I was kind of speculating, and feel free to correct me, dear audience viewer. I was kind of suspecting maybe this was kind of like a Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood situation where like the first foot that they wanted the series to take off on was kind of like an exciting, like, okay, we're getting an intro into characters, and also we have this big climactic thing. 'Cause to me, like, I would assume the first chapter would be like immediately the main character just finds himself in the last 10 minutes where he's like eats the finger, gets the powers. So yeah, spoiler alert, main character, there's a cursed item, it's a cursed MacGuffin, it's a finger. He ends up eating it during a demon attack or cursed attack, devil, if you will.
Trying to save his weird ghost club friends.
His cult club, yeah.
One gets molested by one of them.
Yes, there was a very intentional anime cut of the girl getting her boob groped.
Yes.
As you do.
But like also the thing when you come to rescue, we talked about earlier. He's just like the best at everything.
This is probably my biggest complaint with
one of my least favorite like tropes of like it's just how good the protagonist is like right away.
So keep going.
Because I was like, okay, I'm gonna say compared to other stuff like Dr. Stone, Senku is like the 100% art, but he has no strength. That's his, like he has a giant weakness. Even like Naruto, he is like he has no real ability. He's like he has like a nerf on his like energy level essentially. I'm gonna put it in your terms.
Doesn't he like? But in like the first chapter of Naruto, doesn't he get like a super secret like
Well, that's like the
powerful
first
jutsu.
kind of art. So the thing is, he can't do like jutsu. Like, he tried to do the clone thing first, and he just he makes a clone and just pass it on the ground. It like sucks. And then he learns the forbidden one that just makes him like make a million shadow clones. He basically like learns the forbidden jutsu kind of.
Okay.
But like other than that, that's like his main gimmick though for like basically the entire like 3/4 of the first part of Naruto. Before he learns like his essential Kamehameha attack, his signature attack, his Rasengan,
his Jujutsu Kaisen,
yes.
if you will.
Sure, but like, yeah, even that, like, he's not the best at all.
Yeah,
and like,
sure.
Dragon Ball, Goku, he's not the best at all. He has to learn his martial arts.
Well,
like,
I mean,
he still gets
depending
beaten.
on when in Dragon Ball,
he still gets beaten though, like in Dragon Ball.
In Dragon Ball,
yeah, I'm talking about Dragon. Well, even
yes.
Dragon Ball Z, he still loses technically loses the Raditz.
But he still beats everyone.
Yeah,
he ends up beating everyone.
He beats Frieza, but Cell, he kind of had to teleport him as a bomb Cell away.
He beats Cell. Like, Cell would not have... Okay, we can't get mired down with this.
Even Hunter x Hunter, God is not the best.
But okay, so I wanted to... So for me, that was the one I wanted to bring up.
Yes.
Hunter x Hunter, Gon is hyper strong. Like, that is the one thing... So Gon's, like, big buffs to go in, if we're going to use this language, Gon is, like, hyper acute... like senses with like nature and like tracking, which to me that totally makes sense because he lives in the wilderness. But then the other thing that's kind of weird is Gon is just super strong and like his pole is super powerful, whatever. Like, so to me the whole thing, the trade-off is like Gon is very strong physically, but he's very like dumb. And like Gon's whole thing is that he's always very like simple-minded, and that's like part of his character. So with Ichigo from this series, we see he not only is he pink-haired Ichigo.
Get confused.
Well, I mean, strawberries are pink, right? Like, and Ichigo's strawberry.
Strawberries are red.
They're red. Well, if you mash them up, they're pink. All right, what's it? We're gonna call him Jujutsu Kaisen guy.
Okay.
So Jujutsu Kaisen main character guy. Not only is he literally stronger than most humans, we see him break like several world records in a matter of seconds. He also is just like the nicest. Like, he just has such a big heart, Sam. He has such a big heart.
Why is he so good at sports?
And then he just eats the finger and he just becomes like a god, basically.
He's also like possessed by big bad evil guy, but shares his body with.
But he's so he's possessed by a creature that is so strong it possesses humans instantly, but he's so strong that he can defend. I'm just not buying it. I'm just not into it. I don't like it.
Because like. Okay, so I was only first episode, and I know this guy won Best Villain. You know, he's hardly in this thing. He's part of the main character. I mean, that's kind of interesting. If like the main villain is,
it is a good gimmick. It's a really good gimmick. I'll give it that.
Gimmick, but like it's also like if he's in danger and he calls upon the big bad evil guy and just to save him from any kind of danger, and then the good guy can just beat him up again and just like suppress.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I'm trying to remember. This feels like something I've seen in a series before, but yeah.
Naruto. Again, he has the nine-tailed fox sealed inside of him as a baby. Everybody kind of fears that evil in him and everything.
Sure.
And like, that's the thing. Like, because like that's what he kind of goes feral sometimes, where you kind of see like the chakra of the fox come out of him. That's like the first time at the end of the first part of Naruto where he kind of grows that. And
sure.
Once like more tail come out, it goes berserk, and like it's so powerful, but like you have to go berserk. But he's no control over it. It's like he cannot like. You know,
yeah, and that's his Sharingan.
It's not like him like oh, I can control my body. No, he's like you have to be like suppressed by like everybody, and they have to try their ass off. But like that grows over so much. But this one is just like he's just evil and bad, and
so yeah, our main character does not have like. To me, the weird thing is like there's always kind of like an end to the power system. Like you need to give your character an end to the power system. Like something with Dragon Ball, it's a little like laxer just because. Like Dragon Ball Z shifts things to like being very different,
just power levels,
but
and
like
transformations.
So like with Naruto, it's like this chakra system. With Hunter x Hunter, it's like Nen, which is funny because Nen is introduced like so much later. Yeah. So you don't have that like initial thing. Like we have this immediately. Like okay, so we know that our main character needs to fight curses, so he needs to needs to be able to. So we give him this power.
And our one introductions is like a guy who summons wolves that bark.
Very similar, might I add, to Chainsaw Man. There's a character, Aki. Well, actually, multiple characters have this. So in Chainsaw Man, they make contracts with devils to spawn devils, which seems very similar. He says like Shikigami, right?
Yeah.
This is not Sasuke.
Death Note.
Yeah, so yes. No, that's Shinigami.
I know. I know.
You tricked me for a second.
Got him.
So yeah, he does like a very similar, like he does kind of like a shadow puppet, like wolf face with his hands, and he summons these wolves, which or foxes.
I think I've seen like wolves. I think cause one thing I said like these wolves designs are kind of boring. I wonder know if they like maybe they do more with them later on, but like it just seemed like I make wolves. They kind of do these bark bullets kind of thing, and then I do like them eating the curse.
I like that too. That's cute.
But other than that, I'm like they don't do much other than they just like they're just wolves he makes. Like there's no like fun get like I think the girl from Giovanna from Guilty Gear, like she has a wolf that's like kind of like fights with her like a stand wolf. I'm like that's super cool. It has the same kind of design too, with like the thing on the forehead of the wolves.
Interesting.
But like then I'm just like he doesn't do anything special with them, and like that's it. And then like
we basically see them jobbed out. Like
yeah,
they get jobbed out.
well they do an okay job, and then like once he gets hurt, they just melt.
Yeah, I do like the little animation when they melted. That was kind of cute.
But then like I'm like, so what is like our main character gonna do? He's just gonna punch them really hard then, because that seems to be what he did as like the as Finger Man.
I just didn't like that. I just didn't like that he was just like punching the demons or the curses before he had powers. Well, it felt very strange.
He's just the best human. He can like acrobat around a giant monster and punch it pretty damn good.
Yeah. So yeah, he eats the finger and then so I kind of like this part. Like he eats the finger and then gets so overpowered immediately. So this curse that they were fighting this whole time, well, it's actually not the same one, but whatever. This big powerful curse immediately just gets eviscerated. That's how like this is like the gap. They're showing us the gap in the power between Ryomen, whatever, the evil bad guy.
Let's call him Finger Man.
Finger Man, yeah, the guy.
I don't know. You didn't learn his name yet, I don't think. So.
No, it's the title of the episode is Ryomen.
Let's call him Finger Man.
Yeah, Finger Man. So he gets the powers of Finger Man. Finger Man's so strong. I liked that little scene where it was like, okay, so the curses that were like tormenting our main, the Sasuke character, they are now like nothing compared to Finger Man.
Yes.
Finger Man is so strong.
Yeah.
So now we need to elevate. Like we're already at like a power jumping. Like we need power scaling like more and more, please.
That we know that Kakashi is coming to come in and like his power level is gonna be all like high up and
yeah.
Like they say it's like Bleach. Like I know that I never read Bleach, but I know about how the power scaling went offhand, like very quick and like
from the I've only seen Bleach through the
and like side characters will probably be like. I feel like this thing, like, where I'll be more interested in the side characters more than the main character, because like, they'll have more fun abilities than just, like, I have the power of a super strong demon inside me. It makes me gonna be super strong.
I just, like, I don't want this to go on forever. Like, I want to end this very soon, but, like, I just didn't care about the dead grandpa. Like, I don't fucking care. I've seen Uncle Ben before, like...
Kill them all, Peter. But like literally, like he
literally gives him the Uncle Ben speech before he dies.
So earlier in the day, at the beginning of the day, he calls him. I think, or at least the day before. I'm not sure what it was supposed to be, but like he's like yelling at him. That's like a lot of energy just to yell someone like to not come and everything. And then like he comes over. He doesn't seem like super bad. He's like still leaning out of his bed, and then he just literally said, be good, take care of your friends, and then just rolls over and dies. I'm like, they don't, like, he didn't say what he's diagnosed with. He's literally just rolled over and died.
He literally rolls over and dies.
Like, they have no idea, like, how, like, losing someone in a hospital, like from, like, a disease or, like, age goes. Like, it's literally either you die in your sleep, or you, like, doctors will tell you to gather around, say your last words, and like they literally not understand.
I do have to say, I do kind of have to counter that a bit. There is a thing, a noticeable thing, and I know this because I've had someone in my family who was in hospice care. There's a thing that happens like the week before where they get like an upshoot of energy. There's like this weird like false like a second wind that kind of happens. And then shortly, it's kind of like a sign. It's like one of those additional signs that you know it's going to end soon. So I mean, like, sure, whatever.
Then they give you one word of advice, and then this like
literally rolls over. I mean, I just have to say, like, we don't need to ever talk about the granddad ever again.
I'm just like, I was like, what was the point of that? Like, this is like stuff you could like. You know, saying, oh, I used to live with my grandfather, but he died recently, and then have, like, you know, flashbacks of him and his great-grandfather, you know, spending time together. Not, like, in the hospital, just, like, literally him dying in episode 1.
It is just comical to me. It's just funny. It is funny that he rolls over and dies. Like, I don't know. I don't care. I don't really care for that element.
And it's not, like, a very important, like Demon Slayer, where it was, like, very important that, like, his family was fucking massacred in episode 1, like a very important thing.
Yeah.
And like
Very, like, immediately, like, tying you and Tanjiro to the stakes of the series. Like,
yes,
this is how dangerous demons are, or
Yeah.
whatever. What are they in that?
they have
The demons?
Yeah, they're basically demons. And Michael Jackson.
They're like,
Because they're all demons like related. They're like the spider one. They're like demons related to like something like object. And then
yeah, they're like zombie
they
demons.
said
I
the Michael
guess.
Jackson one was like the one that like he's after though.
Yeah.
So that's
All right. So okay, wrapping this up.
this if I compare it to like other stuff like would this hook you into like I want to keep reading this every week kind of thing like
Well, I certainly okay. So I will fully disclose further. I did watch the first 2 minutes of episode 2.
mm-hmm.
After watching this, and I was immediately just like, you know what? I don't really need to keep watching this. So I mean, that's my answer.
Yeah, I like this is weird. This feels like going down the Bleach. Like I get a feeling about Bleach more than anything from this, and I haven't even like read that much Bleach. I just kind of get that feeling it's gonna go that way from what I've heard of Bleach.
Did you see? Very recently, there was a duo interview with Tite Kubo, so the writer of Bleach, and the Jujutsu Kaisen mangaka, whose name escapes me. And basically, in this interview, I saw like a bunch of like segments of it posted everywhere. Tite Kubo, the writer of Bleach, kind of shits on Jujutsu Kaisen mangaka for like having like shitty women characters, like shitty female characters.
Wait, I heard the Bleach one didn't have great female characters either, though.
Yeah, isn't that kind of funny? No, but they make a whole joke where like he basically says like, "Well, what kind of female characters do you like?" And then the mangaka for Jujutsu Kaisen was like, "Well, I can't really think of any like female characters that I like that come to mind." I was like, "Uh oh."
Oh god, it's like
I mean, it looks like there's girls in the show.
It's like there's a glass
At least
girl,
two.
glass girl that gets like molested, and then there's the plain looking girl that we saw in the OP.
And then there was like the spear girl too, I think.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying. What?
Or she was whatever. I don't care.
I was like Shonen. I think Shonen had never had the greatest time with female characters too much. It's not like Chainsaw Man or. Like Hunter x Hunter doesn't have that many like.
Hunter x Hunter is a dearth of female characters.
It has like Bisky and like Palm, and those are the two most important.
Those are the only, basically the only female characters. I mean, Maki is barely a character. Komugi is like also
an art character.
She's an art character. Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to say. Oh, well, that is kind of endemic with shonen manga.
Yeah.
Like
I was like, you look at Dragon Ball Z and like, because the fighters like they had like Android 18 and Videl was the only, and I think Kefla, the only 3 female characters. Then they had to like make a female villain specifically for fighters just so they could have like another like female character in the game. It's just like. But like, I think they do have female characters like Naruto. They're just kind of like nothing for the most part. Like even like Dr. Stone did a pretty good job. Was like he just like draws them like very like horny. But like I mean the characters themselves in Dr. Stone are pretty good.
Yeah, even though they are extremely horny. I have to. Dr. Stone might be because I was trying to think of like other series.
FMA has great.
Well,
like,
I just looked that up.
Yeah,
FMA is not a Shonen Jump manga.
What's it in?
It was Weekly Gangan or something.
But I was like for like a shonen like.
I mean, it's certainly okay. So
a
like,
long running shonen
series for sure. But like, so that's kind of why I wanted to bring it up before. Like, shonen is a demographic. Shonen is not a genre. So that's why I wanted to focus on Jump, just because Jump seems to have this like, whereas like a show like FMA or a manga like FMA has a lot of the same things in common. Like, I would definitely call it a shonen, even though it's written by a woman. Like, these things don't matter. It it is about the demo that it is targeted towards.
Yeah, I just worry because not many Jump things do a super great job with female characters. Like,
that's true. I mean, I was going to say Winry is probably one of like the good. Winry's a fantastic character in her own right.
Most of
FMA.
But most of the female characters, like Hawkeye, is great, and like
Hawkeye's really good,
and Lady Bradshaw, super good.
Oh yes.
Wait,
their sensei.
Not the sensei. No.
I love the sensei too. She's good.
Armstrong.
Does Armstrong have a girl? Oh, you mean his sister?
Yeah, sister.
I forget her name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah.
But like, yeah,
you're right.
It's tough.
I mean, that series was written by a woman.
Yes,
so.
Yeah, she wanted to have like good female characters alongside good male characters. Yeah. Like, it's great.
FMA's pretty good.
Yes, it's just like other stuff where like a lot of female characters just come for fan service. Like,
True that, and that's the worry when I first saw this episode.
Or at least
and
if-
the girl got groped by the demon
yes,
curse.
at least in Hunter x Hunter, when there are female characters, they are like not done for like fan servicey.
Not
pretty much.
Always,
Not always.
not always.
But like for the like Bisky is fucking great.
Bisky is really
Palm, great. Like, but like you see something like Dragon Ball Z where they're like once they're done, like 18 had the most use of a female character and then they're gone.
True. I mean, well, Bulma early on, but okay, whatever. Videl is like a side character.
I'm not
She's
gonna
a background.
I'm not gonna
character.
start on the female Naruto character. 'Cause that's another.
Yeah, no,
whole...
we can't get too mired down. Okay, just returning back before we leave everyone for now. Jujutsu Kaisen episode 1. It wasn't bad.
It's fine. It's just
fine.
I don't want to watch 24 episodes of this, but I know it's gonna like, make you drag me to it.
The thing is, the reason why we're being so negative is just because we have seen a lot of anime in our lives.
I thought of another great jump example of female characters, JoJo.
Yeah, JoJo does actually have some good female characters.
Well, there's also a big lack of them, or they get like
you basically need to wait until
they get-
part 5 before we start seeing any real female characters.
At least Araki won at least to do something, but then she got nerfed heavily. Yukaku's just the crazy girl. Like Trish does nothing after BIG for the
Trish
most
has
part.
like an arc though.
She has an arc.
She has an arc at least.
An arc,
And,
but but not like as big as like what female character would get after that.
I mean, like, yeah, part 6
I guess it was
alone,
like a
that's-
stepping stone.
Yes.
Yukaku did not deserve to be happy with Koichi.
No.
And then like part 6, like Araki does not like write like female characters extremely well in that part 6. I don't think like a lot like them acting as women.
I don't know. I think it's not bad. I would say it's definitely not done badly.
Yeah,
Whatever.
But they do have some great moments in that part. But like,
Okay, so final thoughts. So yeah, we think Jujutsu Kaisen episode 1, it was fine. Okay, we didn't talk about the animation. Animation looked very good.
I mentioned a little bit. Like, it looked fine. Some things were kind of weirdly jarring, but that's just the Mappa style of just like it's a weird thing how the ground, like when it shows like the ground like looking like a weird map of way, and then just the movement with it kind of makes me.
Do you mean like anti-alias? Like
I
sometimes,
guess so. Yeah.
Sometimes the ground in anime is like weirdly anti-alias.
But it's always like Mappa that does that kind of like way that kind of makes like. Is that supposed to be like CG ground or something?
So comparing this to Titan, Attack on Titan, because Mappa is also doing the currently airing season 4 of Attack on Titan. I have to say this looks better than that.
They're doing just season 4, right?
They're just doing season 4, aka quote unquote the final season, which is a lie. They're lying to us. This can't be the final season, but whatever. But comparing like the amount of CG that is used in Titan versus this, I mean, given we only saw episode 1, there might be a lot more CG later. The CG usage in the first episode of this episode, or in Jujutsu Kaisen, I thought was really good. It was very minimal. It was used in like a very, it's kind of like the idea of what CG should be used for, like used in like unnoticeable ways to make everything look a little bit better.
Like Demon Slayer did for the most part. I know Demon Slayer had like some of the background were CG, but like when they used for the animation of like the sword attacks was like really well done of using the CG to like show that.
The visual, yeah, those effects look good. Do you remember in Demon Slayer there were some CG models of every character?
Yes, I do remember. Those were terrible.
They looked jank.
But when they didn't do that and just did it like on the actual weapon attack, that's where it looked really good. But yeah, I remember the weird cuts to them just walking in CG models at like half the frame rate.
Did Mappa do Demon Slayer? Who did Demon Slayer?
I will check it out. What do you think is Mappa?
It can't be Mappa. They can't. I mean, Mappa's doing like 5 anime this season, but they can't have also done that. Like that's crazy. That's too much work, guys.
Oh god, I forgot about the movie.
Well, yeah. So I mean, Sam's gonna look that up, and we're gonna end this soon. But yeah, I mean, I'm not shitting on Jujutsu Kaisen as much as it sounds. The reason why we're being critical is just because we've seen a lot of anime.
We're always critical.
We're very critical. We've seen a lot of anime. We've read a lot of shonen. Like, we just...
Aniplex licensed it.
I just don't want to see... I just don't want to see things... I don't want to watch things that don't, like, really capture my imagination instantly. Or read things.
Unless people are saying, no. Yeah, once you get into the actual arc, though, you're gonna get great kind of thing. Like,
and it's... So I have a very infamously... Like, I have a 1-episode rule for anime. Like, if the
One episode.
Screw the 3-episode rule. That is for people who have too much time. They have more time than I do. If an anime gives me 1 episode that's not good... that anime is probably not going to be good.
I think shonen like kind of have to be looked at like how well is their first arc? Like
Yeah, but that is such like a time
It is.
commitment, Sam.
it's just it's a shonen things shonens are though sometimes.
I guess you're not wrong. Did you find the answer yet?
I am okay. Here we go.
Just type in Attack on Titan
Because
Studio.
everything brought up like episode lists of like every spot to watch, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. Okay, Unfottable.
Oh, Ufotable.
Ufotable?
Ufotable, yeah. They've okay.
Ufotable.
Fun thing about Ufotable or UFO Table, as their name is written out.
Written by a UFO table.
Ufotable is a
Ufotable.
series. That's what they're called. They're called Ufotable. I swear to
know.
God. They're a studio that has been around for a long time, that has done CG for a long time. So that's probably why they integrated it really well in those fight scenes.
Yes. I'm Fate. They did Fate Zero. Fate's Day and Night. Unlimited Blade Works.
Blade Works.
This is my favorite Mugen intro.
All right, Sam. Any last words on episode 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen before I drag you to watch episode 2 right
God.
now?
It's whatever. Like, if I had to go, I'm gonna go watch Dr. Stone episode 1 again to probably enjoy that way more. Like, I'm just thinking, like, so far, like, especially, like, compared to the last thing, like, Demon Slayer, like, I don't put this, like, above that yet.
Yeah.
Out of, like,
certainly it's not above Demon Slayer.
And I'm just, like, and I've said it before, like, I think Demon Slayer is fine, but I didn't think it was, like, the greatest, like, show ever made. Like everybody reacted was.
Yeah.
But that's how I view it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to watch more. I hope it gets good. So right now, okay, I think it'd be fun if we had a thing at the end of every episode where we're like, all right, Demon Slayer, thumb up, thumb down. It should be a funny, like, thing. Like, one finger up, one finger down, like that kind of thing.
I don't want to. Sounds disgusting.
I put a finger to the side.
I
know, I have no fingers up. No fingers up, no fingers down for Demon Slayer episode 1. How about you, Sam?
Demon Slayer.
Wait, I meant Jujutsu Kaisen episode. How many demon fingers do you put up or down for episode 1?
Oh God, I give it 1 dead grandpa figure out of 10 fingers.
All right, you heard it here, folks.
I don't know. I'm not. Maybe 2.
Okay.
Didn't catch me super hard.
Yeah, me either. Okay. Tune in next time when we talk about.
No plugging part.
Well, I guess we can plug. Check us out. We're Jokakaka. We do JoJo podcast. We do Hunter x Hunter podcast that is on hiatus. We do a part 3 podcast,
Working on it,
which is on hiatus. We do monthly chapter reviews of JoJo Lion.
Even taking my plug part too. Son of a
do you have
bitch.
anything else you want to plug, Sam?
Yeah, we have well, you can follow the podcast on Twitter.
What's the app for that?
At the Jokakaka podcast.
It is, yes.
You think I would know that?
I mean, you did. You pulled it out of somewhere.
God. And then you can follow me and Jim separately as well. And of course, join the Discord to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen and how much we are wrong.
We have a Jujutsu Kaisen tab.
Yes. For all you shonen trash.
Yeah, come there and shit on us for hating your precious Jujutsu Kaisen so much.
Because we're allowed to have opinions.
All right.
There are really a lot of people who like never watch like our JoJo stuff and just only watch just because of be so angry.
It's gonna be so funny, Sam.
It's gonna go so well.
All right, I can't wait for episode 2.
Oh God. All right, bye.
Bye.
God.